was singing when he passed out.
Why not?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Curse on Dice. Well, Geeks on Dice's Curse on Dice, session 25, titled Into Ingstead. Everybody, welcome back to Curse on Dice. Well, Geeks on Dice's Curse on Dice, session 25.
Zach, I can hear you and you at the same time.
Yep. I just realized I had the YouTube channel up. My bad. And we lost Dovin. And we have a viewer. But that was probably me.
Dovin, watching from beyond the veil. He's back.
That may also explain my audio issues. Oh, that's really loud. You gotta get turned down. Alright. Gotta love the technical issues. So, our last game,
Hello.
we were in Ravnica, found a magical mask, and as each member touched the mask, they gained their memories from their past lives, let's call it, their experiences in Barovia and all the ones before that, as well as retaining their memories of Ravnica, essentially merging two lives into one. Wrap your head around that. Now,
it's trippy as fuck.
There's also a great machine that was supposed to be an intermultidimensional traveling machine. Which, again, interesting to say the least. Hopefully things went off without a hitch, but apparently Niv Mizzet, of all the people, messed up the coordinates somehow. So, through flashes of purple and green and yellow and bright white lightning, you all find yourself, well, we'll say Stony wakes up first. I'm being attacked by dogs. Help. Stony.
He's being attacked by dogs.
I'm going to adjust this real quick because I can't hear it yet again.
Oh, that's not good.
There it is. So, Stony, you wake up in an alleyway covered in about an inch of slime. Lost Stony again. Covered in about an inch of slime, just kind of the scum that develops in alleyways. And you realize, okay, there's that. You see the trash everywhere. You're like, it's probably a major city. As you get up and you wander out, you see several things. You see large stone buildings. You see horses and carriages. You realize this is a fairly large city. You look around and you see something you haven't seen since your childhood. You see the place known as the Golden Arcanum. And you realize it's a great big structure. It's a huge tower, not actually made of gold, but very decorative and ornated. No, it would be decorated. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. It's a flat marble tower. But you recognize it from your childhood. Your father told you about it. Told you they do magic there, but you should never study magic because you're tinkerers. And that's what you do. But you realize, if that's the Golden Arcanum, you must be in Goldbrook itself, the capital of your home kingdom, which is also titled Goldbrook, because I'm lazy like that. And just so everyone knows, actually, no, we'll leave that to somewhere else. As you realize all this, Connor, Stony, Millie and Dovin begin to stir, and then slowly Krevin wakes up just after them.
Are they near me?
Yeah, they're like right behind you in the alleyway. You all ended up there at the same time.
I just wanted to make sure because time travel can get fucking weird. So Stony is gonna just be looking up at the thing in shock, and she's just gonna say to them all, I think we're where I'm from. Give or take a couple 100 miles.
Apparently no responses from Millie, Dovin, or...
Sorry, someone was at the door.
Yeah, and I
Where
couldn't
the
get my
fuck is-
phone out of my
I'm
pocket.
still adjusting my mic.
I don't even know where you're from.
Ugh.
That place looks fancy.
You know, all I care about is whether or not I should drink or not drink.
I'm not going back to Barovia.
Well, you're not in Barovia, so be happy. Look, you're not some desiccated monster.
I agree. Yes, this is what I look like, by the way, guys. I'm not a rotting corpse.
But you're probably going back to Barovia eventually.
I'm not going back to Barovia.
Yeah, I think you're going back.
No.
Maybe someone at that big tower could get us back to Barovia. Where's
Well, I
the
don't want to go back immediately, but like, I feel like Krevin's going to go back. He's unlucky like that.
First of
Where's
all,
the
you may be
way?
100% correct.
Like, the gods seem to like to see Krevin suffer.
This is an out of character question. Is Dovin's wife there with us, and
I
is
was-
she pregnant?
I was to say, I was about to ask. I was just waiting.
She is there. She does not appear to be pregnant.
Oh. Dovin, go fix that.
Don't-
Oh,
What, Krevin, do you want to watch? Is that what?
Krevin's a kinky fuck.
Why do you think he's wearing the mask all the time?
So people can't notice it. I'm walking out, looking out through the window.
He's probably got a bowl in his mouth.
Yeah, the mask was never cleaned, by the way, so that's still covered in blood.
I did try cleaning. It can't be cleaned.
Anyway, we should probably all start heading to that thing to get back to Barovia and help the people there. Because they kind of seem to need it.
But why?
I don't know about you guys, but I think Strahd's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah,
Are you saying that because he gave you alcohol?
I am.
Yeah.
You realize Strahd's, partially responsible for you dying, Dovin.
Yeah, but I was a ghost. I mean, come on. Sometimes you gotta take the good with the bad. I get wine, I die.
I mean, but we can also get you wine, and I can turn
You're very
vinegar
strange.
into wine.
This is true. I don't even know if I want wine anymore.
I think I do.
Ravnica life.
So as you walk out, Millie, you would be more familiar with a bigger city like this, being from Neverwinter. You hear all the typical sounds. The carriages and horses trotting on the cobblestone pathways, roads, whatever you want to call them. I can't words today apparently. You hear people trying to sell things, all kinds of vendors selling fruit, vegetables, just on corners, wherever. It seems to be a very crowded, very busy city, like way more than even Neverwinter was. You see someone selling what they claim is the most current and up-to-date maps for 3 coppers apiece. You see people selling fruit for silver.
Just kind of casually walk by and grab one of the maps off the thing and then walk back.
Roll sleight of hand.
Like, she's not even, like, trying that hard. Apparently she is. 16 on the die, so 20-something.
Okay. So,
Let me cheat.
1 second. I can show you what you see.
So yeah, 23.
This is what you see. But better designed.
Does
So-
it have a "you are here" thing?
Well, kind of. You would be here. Just so everyone knows, these weird veiny things are supposed to be mountains. I'm not good at map making. Stony, you were last in the city where the guild is from is right in this little crook on the cove here. I think I just lost my audio while doing this too. So that's great.
So I'll just kind of point in that area on the map, the Goldbrook area. So you're saying we're over here, wherever this is?
Yeah.
This looks like a very widely spread part of the continent.
I mean, you could say that, but there's also place is like right down there, and I'd point to where the islands are. That's where I was-ish when I was taken to Barovia.
Didn't you say you were fighting something dangerous on a tower?
No, I said we beat something on a tower. That's where I got this, and I pull out the guitar. Or Cittern.
The Cittern. Also, Stony, if you chose to, you could show them that right here is Starlazette, where you came from.
And I used to live here, but family issues.
You have a family?
Whatever happened to Fern's goat?
Look, we can talk about that some other time.
Whatever happened to what?
My pet goat in that game.
I mean, yeah, everybody has a family at some point.
My head hurts. Sorry. I'm not sure about that, but whatever.
So yeah, you can make your way over to the Golden Arcanum. When you start trotting up the steps, you were stopped by guards in gleaming black and gold armor. They say, "Halt! Show your identification of membership to the Arcanum."
I just hide behind Dovin.
Would this work? And Stony holds up the symbol of the guild on his other hand.
So, for the first time, you guys would notice that there is a kind of a white fishhook-like mark. It looks like it was branded onto Stony's hand. And the guard would say, "That doesn't show membership, but that'll do." And they step aside and let you through the big mahogany doors that you have marveled at when you were younger.
It feels good to finally come in here.
Kind of continue to use Dovin as cover while we pass him and stick my tongue out at him after we get past him. Yeah.
So while you're outside, I failed to mention it was fairly muggy out, very humid. Probably summertime, which is a stark contrast to wintertime in Barovia and whatever the hell Ravnica had. But when you step inside, it is noticeably cooler. In fact, you can see snowflakes falling from the ceiling, but not quite making it to anyone's head. Not uncomfortably cold. Somewhere in the 70-ish range. Let's put a number on it. So when you walk in, it's busy with people, very important-looking people walking back and forth. There, you can walk down a narrow, a wide, straight hallway, and the inside of the tower seems a lot bigger than the outside. But as you walk down this hallway, you see door after door, meeting in progress, class in session, over and over again, just these kind of things. And finally, you find a counter at the far end of the hall. The lady behind it, and she says, looking at Dovin and Krevin, because she's the only one they're the only ones she can see. And "Could I help you two? You don't look like you're from the Arcanum."
No, this guy's who you need to talk to. I just picked Stony up.
Oh, hello there.
So weird question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there
We get a lot of those.
Is there anybody here who could like shift us a dimension over or forwards or backwards?
Well, we can shift you in dimensions fairly easily. What seems to be the issue?
Well, we have this quest in a place that's kind of hard to get to, and we're just trying to get back there so we can do it.
What is the name of the place?
Stony pulls out the book that he had from Ravnica, and he turns it towards her and shows her the title. Barovia.
And she takes out essentially what's a notepad, takes a quill and ink, dips the quill in the ink, and writes out Barovia. And you watch a piece of paper fly over and go in a little slip in the file cabinet behind her. You hear a bunch of shuffling, and a couple papers come out on Barovia. She says, Barovia, Shadowfell, Count Strahd von Zerevich, Curse, blah, 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 blah. I'm fairly certain we could find someone to get you here, but you'd have to be at the proper location. You would have to be somewhere near, what's it called? What's it called? Because the DM actually forgot for somehow. Ah, fuck.
Is it by chance Stony's hometown? Is that the route we're going here?
No, it's not Neverwinter. What's the other major one?
Waterdeep?
Waterdeep, thank you. I can't believe I forgot that. You have to be near Waterdeep-ish. That's a whole different continent, and
yeah,
we don't...
that's a different world.
No, same world, different continents.
Oh, you're from here too then, Millie.
Where the fuck is Ingstead? North of Shaoyun or something? South of Evandar?
Something like
West
that.
of Nerthine? There's a lot of places in the Forgotten Realms world.
There is. We're not very big.
All some of them forgotten.
You must be very small. Never heard of you. And Neverwinter's a trade hub.
Well, if you'll see, she notices the map in your hand, or in whoever has it at the moment's hand. It says, if you see, we are just an island continent.
I feel like because we're small and they're normal people maps, Stony has one side and I have one side, and we're just kind of pointing at shit.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
When Doan lifted me, he almost ripped the map in half.
I lifted Millie as well, both of you, just holding you as you guys talk to each other.
Now-
you just curl Stony and me to look at the map.
So we get to Waterdeep, and then we seek out somebody that's a membership of yours, or do we bring someone with us there?
Well, you'd have to take someone who's willing to go with you or meet someone there. We may be able to get into contact with someone that's already on that side of the world.
Could you just see if there is somebody there?
That takes a little while. It takes a few days.
That's fine.
Okay. Well, put in an application for your request. On whose authority is this, by the way?
Countess Millie von Zarevich, and I'll flip my cloak.
Should go. Roll deception.
I'm not good at this.
She rolled insight. You got to do really good.
Well. I
Did
did
you guys-
almost as well as Millie can do
Mm-hmm.
with a 19 because I don't have a bonus.
Yeah, she rolled a natural 20.
Yeah, I wasn't beating that.
No, that's like I said. You had to roll really, really good.
What's that thing that you said that those characters?
If she has a bonus, it wouldn't have mattered.
What's that, Connor?
What's that council that those people said Stony was going to be on?
The High Magic Council.
Yes, that one.
Are you claiming to be on the High Magic Council?
I'm going to claim to be a future member of it.
She says,
On account of Stony Tark, future member of the Magic High Council.
her jaw kind of drops with First off, there's no guarantee you'll be on the High Magic Council.
Oh, I was told by some ghosts.
Okay.
And the county has also put in a good word for him.
Wonderful, Countess Zarovich. I'm sure Lord Strahd was very happy with your wedding.
No, he wasn't. There is no happiness in Barovia.
Fair. I did read something about that.
He knows all about that, and I point at Kreven.
She's not wrong. There is no happiness in Barovia.
She
I
says,
don't want to go back.
You don't have to.
I have no proper account that you will be on the High Magic Council. I can't know that. If you say die before then apparently you didn't make it.
No, they said even if I die, I'll make it on. I just want
Interesting.
Posthumous awards and all that.
But I do have a second point to bring up. How did you get in the door? I don't think you...
We walked in a straight line.
Okay, you're not a magic of the council. You're a member of the guild.
But I can't do magic.
So you are on the guild's authority.
Sure.
Okay, see, that I can work with. That I can work with. She starts writing up stuff. I will put in your request right away. What's your name again?
Stony Tark.
Tark, as in Tark Mechanisms?
Yep.
As in Craig Tark?
Yep.
I am a big fan. What is the relation?
Estranged son.
Oh, you're that one.
Yep.
What do you mean by that one?
But don't worry about it, Millie. Don't worry about it.
And she starts like fishing for like the alchemist fire.
Yeah. So, are you? Hold on. I say that one, but obviously you have a brother. Are you Onyx or are you Stony?
I'm Stony. I just said I was Stony.
Oh,
You
that's
said
right.
it 3 times.
I'm sorry. I'm
French.
a little bit. I haven't had my coffee yet.
What's coffee?
Oh, you're gonna love that. And she like literally just has a cup of coffee and hands it to you, Millie. That'll be fun later.
And a
I'm
cup.
just gonna start sipping at it with my 35-pound frame.
Is a regular person sized cup too. She is a human, by the way. She says, "You're the one that went missing like a year and a half ago."
Missing's a strong word.
Well, from what I understand, and this is I only know of this because of your father coming by. Apparently your party came back from fighting at some tower and you just went missing. Went through a hole in the space-time fabric or some sort?
Yeah. That's how I got to Barovia originally.
It's a Barovia thing. You wouldn't get it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe you'll be able to no, you probably won't convince your father to use magic in his mechanisms. It wouldn't make it much. Quit eating in the chair.
I couldn't convince him to let me use magic in my own inventions.
Doesn't your glove use magic?
His point.
Well,
Oh, so that's why that makes sense. Well, your dad sounds a bit daft, not gonna lie, set in his ways.
I would like to mention that
Maybe send him a letter and be like, I'm really successful because I use magic, so maybe use fucking magic, you dick.
I do have one bit of news for you. One of your nephews is in fact part of the training to be part of the Arcanum. He's in one of these classrooms right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Your nephew Shale.
That's amazing. Which one?
Shale.
No, which classroom?
Oh, let's see. And she just writes Shale on that notepad and it flies off to a door off far and to the right.
Follow that?
You can. I wouldn't interrupt their class. Okay, your friend's gonna interrupt their classes.
Look at Dovin and I tell him, follow that paper.
I only do that.
Still
for
holding me and Millie up.
She's just standing there, her mouth agape. Have a good day, I suppose.
Stony pulls out his own notepad, writes on it, have a good day. Mage hands it back.
Fair enough. So yeah, you go and just burst into the room, or do you knock first?
Well, first I'd have Dovin put me down.
Fair enough.
Oh, I drop him.
Thunk on the floor.
And then I'd knock.
I like to imagine.
And to have it be all the way up at a normal person's height.
Gotcha. I like to imagine when Dovin dropped you, you did like a 3-point landing with your gauntlet, like hero landing. So you knock on the door. You wait for a second. You hear footsteps approaching the door. A high elf man, a sun elf more specifically, opens the door and looks down at you. Yes, could I help you?
Hi! Stony just walks between his legs and looks for his nephew in the classroom.
Young sir, and then when you walk in, you see a wall of faces. There's probably 50 students in this room at the time. And there are all sorts of races: halflings, high elves, all the spectrum of elves. You see tieflings, literally just basically everything. Just move along. Not loxodons like you've seen in Ravnica, but other than that.
I shall.
And you
yells to the classroom.
hear from the back, somewhere in the middle of the crowd, you hear, "Holy shit! It's Uncle Stony!" And you see, any of you that are looking at it, you can see a smaller than Stony gnome. You're deep gnomes, right?
I'm a stone rock gnome.
Rock gnome. You see another gnome hop up on the desk, like the long table, and run over to the steps and run down to see you. Make a strength saving throw as he runs into you.
I'm pretty sure that's a 12. Yep, it's a 12.
Yeah, so you don't completely fall on your ass, but he slams into you hard. And he goes, "Holy cow, Stony! Uncle Stony, I thought you were dead. Everyone said you were dead. Grandpa said you were dead." He got really sad. And then my dad said you were dead, and he got really angry. And then when I left for the Arcanum, they got really, really angry. And I'm embarrassing myself in front of my class. Can we go out in the hallway now?
Yeah, sure, come on. And I'm not dead.
You know, I'm pretty sure you embarrassed yourself before this at least once.
So, the Sun Elf gives you a disparaging look as you all walk outside. And then he...
It'll be fun.
Are you getting in on the action? Are you saying hi? For a second, apparently.
Monty.
But, he gets outside and he says, "Uncle Stony, what happened?"
Well, I went with a group of people to an island where I missed 8 people. Then I climbed a tower, helped stop that mist thing, got to the bottom of the tower, and then got pulled through a portal by an ethereal hand.
More important question. Why does your brother have a kid and you don't?
Uncle Stony never got married because he could never find time to meet a girl. He gets really nervous around most pretty girls.
You never flipped out around Sid. You didn't meet Sid.
Who's Sid? It's the first I'm hearing of this person.
I just grabbed the book
who's
out
Sid?
of his pouch that's from Sid that he's been reading, smack him with it, put it back in the pouch. There's Sid.
Oh! That's a lot easier to understand than people.
Did you come back to see Grandpa?
He's here?
Well, he's not here. He would never be caught dead in the Arcanum. He comes through town all the time, though. No, he's still back at home. He's real sick. He can't even travel right now.
Oh. How long is the trip between here and home?
You should see him.
You would know that...
I don't think you need to ask that. I think you should just see him.
I'm not asking that in character, I'm asking that out of character.
You would know... I gotta get the zoomed in picture here. Following the main road, it is 2 weeks to Gildern, and then a week from Gildern to Sarlazet. So about 3 weeks if you follow the main road. Longer if you take the mountains or any other way around.
Is there a teleportation circle?
Not to Sarlazet.
Anywhere closer?
You actually would be able to teleport to Gildern, probably, because it is a major industrial city.
We probably should, yeah. At least to see him.
He was really sad when everyone thought you died.
Well, I should probably go and lighten his mood.
I wouldn't go that far, but, you know.
He's gonna go from sad to angry. That's probably better.
Yeah. I mean...
I think dying angry is how most old people want to go.
From my experience, yes. You should have seen Great Grandpa. He died really angry. Like, more than a dwarf.
Oof.
As a dwarf's walking by. He looks at you grumpily, ironically.
Don't worry about it. We're not talking about you.
You're just proving a point.
And then he says, "So who's your friends?" And he, like, pokes Millie in the forehead.
So that's Millie, that's Dovin,
I
and that's
bite at his
Brevin.
finger.
He dodges it.
Also, I'm still holding Millie like a cat.
Why does that big one look really sad?
Oh, Barovia kind of gave him hyper depression.
Monty, quit eating jelly beans.
Really? I thought it was because he was just ugly.
Fuck you,
I
Dobin.
mean,
He is kind of ugly. He looks like one of the angel. Looks like one of the angel people that tried to take over in the north.
Yeah,
If
that's
it
pretty
makes you
accurate.
feel better, Crevins, now that you don't have the bleeding eyes, I think you look normal.
I'll take the comment. Thank you, Millie.
So what spells are you learning? What school are you going into?
Well, I was thinking about transmutation like you, but I'm not very good at it.
That's fair.
So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is conjuration because having a familiar is really cool.
It is.
Why don't you blow stuff up?
That's invocation, and that's just standard practice.
But you could be really good at blowing things up.
I mean, Uncle Stony's kind of the best already.
Don't you want to be better than Stony?
I never thought about that. But I have to get back to class. It was really good seeing you, Uncle Stony, and he shakes your hand frantically and hugs you, and then before you can even say another word, he's in the classroom.
Don't forget to blow things up.
I won't.
Kid.
He's gonna go to prison someday.
Yeah, don't we all?
Give me just 1 second, guys. I gotta save my puppy from eating jelly beans.
Okay.
No, I learned the skills I have to stay out of prison, actually.
I mean, but you've gone there before you had those skills, probably.
No.
Oh. So you didn't.
They don't put
you
children
had
in.
skills?
They don't put halfling children in jail cells because they can just walk through the bars. So they just kind of paddle you and throw you back on the street.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's either that or execute them. And it looks really bad when you execute a child who's less than a foot tall.
That's very true. I was less than a foot tall for most of my teenage years.
Late bloomer, huh?
Yeah.
You're taller than I am.
It's fine. Now I have this. And that's the gauntlet.
Oh, that's fair. Shiny. Crevin, stop weeping and join in conversation.
It's weird. He's weeping with joy because he's not hideous anymore.
Or in Barovia.
For now.
Let's be real. If there's a way for him to get out of it, he's not going back. I'm pretty sure even if he has to fall to not go back, he's going to do that.
He may just have to. Well, that's a whole nother plot line that we'll get to later.
I mean, Barovia was probably going to make him fold anyway.
It was
Out of
close.
his character.
It was close out of character.
Well,
He did almost run away and leave you guys.
if she had just talked to Millie was one of the only people other than Dovin who has information on, hey, gods don't talk to you anymore in Barovia. But he never asked.
All right, so back into the game. So what do you do? What is the next move after that little exchange?
I think next move is finding the teleportation circle to.
Is there a fee to use it, or do you just get to go because of your fancy burn? Because honestly, for all the effort I put in Barovia, I don't have that much money.
yeah, me neither. Man,
I
we need to
spent-
steal more stuff.
I spent most of my money in Ravnica, keeping the guild happy.
I've got a fair amount of money from the guild work I did here.
So you
And I
hear
steal something every session, Jared. It's not my fault that it's never worth any money.
so you hear from down the hall. If it's on guild business, it's free, depending on where you have to go.
Actually, Millie reaches into her pockets and using the gloves and finds all those Ravenloft rings that she couldn't sell because they were Strahd related. I can finally get rid of all my Strahd paraphernalia.
Hold on. Let's look at something first.
So I might be able to afford something.
Let's figure something out first. Stony's gonna twist a dial on the back of his gauntlet and press a button in the palm. He's gonna hold a hand over the rings, and he's gonna cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Shit, I don't remember if they were magical or not.
I just stare at the glove for 10 minutes like, what are you doing?
Yeah, after 10 minutes, I'm going to say... Oh my god, were they magical, Mikhail? I don't think they were.
I don't think so. I think they were just silver. Silver and well made.
You can punch werewolves.
I mean, I can stab them too.
But which is more satisfying?
Stabbing. Actually, Millie's very fond of shooting.
Yep, it was what, 4 silver rings?
I have silver raven something ring, raven ring 2. No, only 2.
Oh, okay, well, 2 silver rings. They're just plain rings.
Then the holy symbol of ravenkind.
That is magical.
Yeah, 10 silver knives, silver dagger that's longer than hell. I have a lot of silver. Weird gray fluid from Ravnica, an acid flask from Ravnica, an alchemist fire from Ravnica. A strange ring of keys from... Like, I'm just piling all these on the fucking ground right now. Looking at stuff that we can sell.
Just in the middle of the hallway. Most of it's garbage.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Stony's just there with his hand out doing the detecting of magic.
It gives me something to do while he's trying to figure those out. Yeah, so I think we got a little bit to sell. You done yet?
When it's done, Stony just kind of holds the gauntlet out, looking around at the things, and the back of the gauntlet would glow and beep if he passed in front of something magic.
That's just the amulet, which we already knew about.
Okay. He presses the button and stops the detect magic.
At this point, the receptionist has already walked up to you and says,
Don't worry, we're going to be on our way soon.
oh no, you take your time, If it's on guild business, you can do whatever. I just need to know where you're going so we can prepare the circle.
What was the name of that place again?
Kill something?
It is Gildern.
Haha.
Oh, Gildern.
If you're writing that down, it's Guldern. Oh, it makes sense that a Tark would want to go to the creation capital of
Oh,
the
that's our
world.
one.
Oh, well, it's none of my business. I will have it prepared right away. And she opens her hand, and a little paper airplane flies out and goes off down the hallway. That should be ready in about an hour.
Is there somewhere I could... And I gesture to my pile of shit. Is there somewhere I could sell some of this? And I mostly point at, like, the rings and the fancy silver knives.
She
Because
leans.
they're, like, silver knives that you would use for cutting meat at the table. Like, they're not, like, daggered.
Yeah,
Oh,
She-
sorry, I had to go help wash dish.
You little bitch.
she crouches. She kind of crouches down, and she's kind of thumbing through it. She says, "Most of this, there's a sort of second-hand store you could sell the silverware at. The rings could be sold to any jeweler, of course. This amulet thing, ow! And then when she touches the amulet, it burns her, and she just drops it back down. That, I don't know what kind of cursed item that is.
That's weird, because that's the only one of those things that doesn't burn me.
Haha.
And
And
she'll like grab one of the rings and touch it to her arm slightly.
she looks at you really closely, like uncomfortably closely. And when you try to pull away, she grabs your shirt and pulls you closer to look straight
I
into your
know
eyes.
what I am. Don't stare at me like that.
She says, lycanthropy.
Don't worry, it's with a bird.
Yeah, I make like a raven call at her.
She's that's different.
That's Barovia. Wonderful place. Never go there. You'll hate yourself. Trust me.
He already does. Point at Krevin.
Is Krevin sulking in a corner somewhere?
No, Krevin's gone beyond that.
He's
Krevin.
in the middle of the hallway.
Brevin, do you have anything to add to the pile of shit to sell?
I actually don't know. Let me see.
Yeah,
Nope.
I mean, I've
Because at
got
the very
this
least, I'd like to
paw
get rid of some of
flesh
this so I can
tattoo.
carry bigger and better things.
Let me look.
By the way, Stony has all of the random shit he's accumulated from the fights that he's been in.
Like, honestly, if
Delvin's
I don't
just
sell
gonna
this
throw
silverware, I'm
up
going to make a bear trap.
that tattoo that he
Nope,
carved
I have
off
nothing
of
to
that
sell.
one wolf that was a person. I'm gonna put that on the table. Yeah, I can sell this.
So it's just this shrunken, desiccated skin.
With a barely you could see the tattoo, but yeah, that's.
Oh, yeah, I
fine.
had the flesh pouch.
I'm really sorry I asked either of you to.
I'm going to hold on to my things
I'm
just in
helping.
case they're useful
Yeah.
later. He says as he's holding a burnt piece of wood and a piece of exoskeleton.
As I said, most of the stuff could be sold at a secondhand shop. Or she looks at the exoskeleton, the apothecary. I said that word wrong, probably. I usually do.
Apothecary.
Apothecary. Thank you. I keep adding a G somehow. But Or
Thanks. We'll be back when the circle's ready.
Later.
we have one reserved for you. It'll be ready in an hour, as I said. And then she nods you out the door, stands up, and walks back to her desk.
Alrighty, so let's get some money for maybe supplies if we need them later.
Let's go!
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
So you go out, and
Oh wait, it is 4. Sorry. 2 of them are in my poucho things.
haha! That's right. So,
There aren't extra dimensional spaces.
on the back of your map, there is
It's not
a
an extra dimensional space, it was just, it had those rings and then some like garbage material in it, so I called it the pouch of things.
So on the back of the map, there is a map of Goldbrook that I didn't make because fuck that. Urban maps suck. But yeah, you can see not far from where you're at. Not far from where you're at, you see Marjorie's secondhand shop.
Well, that looks like the place we can sell the silverware.
And conveniently, directly across from that, there's also a jeweler.
Oh, nice. Let's stop by the second-hand shop first. They might have something nifty there.
So a short 5-minute walk away. You come to a small shop that's got a glass storefront. Go inside. It's fairly warm inside. It's not like the Arcanum where it's just cooled by magic. It is still very warm in here. She's got windows open, blowing, trying to get some kind of air through, but there's no breeze. Too far off the sea in the mountain. But there is a I wouldn't call her Haggerty, but very old lady behind a desk, and she says, "Welcome to this store. How can I help you?"
Oh, I want to sell these. Clatter.
She looks at it. She scrapes some of it with a nail. Real silver? Do you have the whole set or just the knives?
I mean, I couldn't stab people with the other stuff.
I mean, you can stab people with forks.
You can stab people with forks.
Ah, but they
Spoons are
don't-
good for eye gouging.
They don't throw very well is the problem.
That's very true. You could use them for climbing apparatus, though.
I like the way this one thinks.
I never thought of that.
It reminds me of a Tark.
You could say that, yeah.
Tony, I will get you... I mean, Stony, I will get you boots and forks and you will make me something.
Oh, jeez.
I'd
But
probably
that's
do with
later.
gloves, too.
That'll be later. So yeah,
Says,
just the 10 knives.
Just the knives? I can give you.
If it boosts the price, they're from a completely different plane of existence.
That does. It doubles their price. I'll give you 1 gold piece for all of them.
I just stab them to the counter and take the gold piece and leave.
You have a good day.
That might have been in the shop.
She pulls the knife out and puts her hand over. A warm light appears under her hand, and the counter's mended.
Knives, 10 of them.
Yeah, she just over the whole thing, just slowly one by one.
What is some stuff in the shop other than the knives?
It's a lot of secondhand shop. You see worn, rusty armor from wars past.
Is there any leather?
Any what?
Is there any light armor?
Leather studded.
There is, but a lot of it's cracked and degraded. More of like a collector's thing than any functional armor. As well as
for you to get armor where you're visiting your grandfather anyway. It sounds like that's the creative.
No, not my grandfather. His grandfather, who has been my father.
Oh.
Yeah, he's my nephew.
That's right. Sorry, I get confused by family, like familial relations, because I don't have any.
But you also see, looking around, you'll also see furniture. You'll see china sets, as in dish sets, gaming sets, various other baubles.
Go up to one that looks like it has at least most of the pieces in it. Like
I was gonna say it's missing most pieces. Mm-hmm.
Like the one that looks the most complete.
Yeah, that would be a dragon chest set, which is only missing 2 pieces.
Like light armor that have all.
Oh, that. Okay, I just left off on a gaming thing. Okay, so yeah, you find one that looks fairly together. It's got a pair of heavy leather gloves, a leather shirt that's definitely too big for you, but it's there. And a pair of boots. It's got no like pants or anything like that. That's would be the most complete one.
Stony's gonna grab that one and he's gonna go up to the counter and he's just gonna throw it up there, since he probably can't reach.
She looks down at you. Dear, I hate to break this to you, but you're rather short.
Don't worry about it. I can fix it.
Okay, it's all the same to me. That'll be 10 gold, please.
You only need half the material.
10?
10.
Seems a bit expensive for the shape it's in.
But it's a collector's piece.
It is?
Yes.
Like a piece of leather on the edge just kind of falls off.
This leather was worn in the most recent war. It'll be very valuable in about 9 years or so.
Yeah, but you might be dead.
No, maybe.
Stony pulls out the 1 platinum he had and just...
Oh, thank you. She takes it.
And then he's just going to mage hand to grab the thing and pull it back.
And enjoy your armor.
Will do. And on the way to the different places they're going to, Stony's just going to keep doing transmuter stuff on it so that it's...
Yeah. That's what I figured. So again, right across the street is a jeweler if you wanted to sell those rings.
Yeah. I'll head over there.
So you head over there. And over there, there's a younger dwarven man. Thick, reddish-brown beard. Kind of the color of rust. Stands on a stool behind his counter.
Stony, seduce him.
No, you wouldn't be doing any of that now.
Oh, really?
You shouldn't eavesdrop.
Well, you shouldn't speak so loud in my store.
Stony, seduce
What
him.
can I do for you? Don't seduce me.
Stony.
Either buy or sell or get out.
Shoot him.
I've been walking seductively.
Usually it begins with like gyrations or music or something.
All right, Krevin's walking seductively. Roll performance.
I'm not doing it.
Roll charisma.
I'm not doing it. I'm only fucking around.
Oh dear. We're all doomed.
Swear to Christ, I'm probably...
Yeah, I want to sell these rings and I'll set out the 4 Raven rings.
He's gonna go through them. Ah. Is it pure silver or silver plated?
I'm probably pure. Stroud's not very big fan of fake
He's-
stuff.
He just takes 2 fingers and pulls part of the ring apart to look inside it.
I can
Takes
make
it
it pure silver.
Then he puts it back together. Well, that's cheating. Also illegal. You should know better.
It's been a while since I've been in town. Or
And then he
in this dimension.
rubs his fingers on, and a warm glow goes from there, and he mends that ring too. He says, I can give you, I'll say 10 gold apiece for the rings.
Alrighty, that sounds good.
Why the hell was this worth the same amount as those rings?
Because you paid for it.
He's looking at it, and even with you like shrinking it and adjusting it to your size, says, oh, you got yourself a nice piece there. That's guild-worn armor. Not good on you.
Is that special?
Well, of course. You don't celebrate by wearing armor of the losers of a war, now do you?
I mean, some people do.
I bet a brave man died in that armor.
Millie looks down at her armor.
Yeah, that doesn't look guild issued.
No, I got this off of a dead person.
Oh. Well, I'm sure someone died on that one too. And he's tapping the counter. You can see he's got a little fishhook tattoo.
They lost the war because I was the one who killed them.
You're part of the guild too?
Yeah, he's got a brand right on his index finger. He says, yeah, I joined when I was a wee lad. As you look closer, you see it's kind of disfigured.
When I joined, I was like 30.
This isn't actually for sale, but what would you say? And I just kind of slyly take off the fucking horrendously fancy amulet. What would you say this is worth?
Wait, is that the holy symbol of Ravenkind?
Yeah, giant red ruby, platinum fucking sun.
He's looking at it. His jaw drops. Now that's pure platinum. Can I touch it?
Yeah, go for it. It
I
burned the last person to touch it other than me, so I'm curious.
He stopped short. Well, a cursed item's worth next to nothing unless you go to a more seedy shopkeeper. But
it's not cursed, and I cast sunlight in the room.
he's just in awe. Ma'am, you may want to sell that to the Arcanum.
Selective.
If you sell it to the Arcanum, you would never have to work again a day in your life.
Maybe after a certain vampire's dead.
Aye. Throwing sunlight everywhere would certainly help you kill vampires.
Oh, I can do more than that, but that's beside the point.
It's a bit racist around here, but that's okay. All of us are a wee bit racist, eh?
I mean, this is for a very specific vampire.
Oh, earmarked for a certain death. Now we're talking my language.
Dope. So when we take a long rest and it gets its recharge, I actually rolled a 6. So I get all those charges back.
Question. Do you have any sort of special jewelry?
Special jewelry?
Yeah, anything fancy? And as I'm like scraping up the 40 gold.
He's like, I got plenty of fancy jewelry. Or are you talking about magical jewelry?
That's probably the one.
I have a few things. And he takes you over to a small box that has 5 rings in it. He goes, that one can cast a ray of frost spell once per day. And he points at another one. Says, that one can cast the light cantrip. You know, it glows in the dark. I don't know why many people need. Well, I guess there are some that can't see in the dark. Poor bastards.
Yeah, I don't know what that's like. And I tap my goggles.
That one shores up your defense. That one lets you see in the dark.
All right, we have to kill him and take the defense one. That's out of character.
Do you have anything that will stop a
If you
curse?
give it to Dovin, Dovin will help.
Anything to what?
Anything to stop a curse? Like, let's say that turns divinity into something grotesque and monstrous.
Oh yeah. Specifically something to make it so he never again looks like this horrifying monstrosity with bleeding eyes and sunken skin and really the most terrible visage I've ever seen in my entire life, and I have killed numerous undead.
He's not wrong.
He just stands there and slowly breathes through his nostrils for a minute and says, "Son, it sounds like you need a priest."
Well, no.
He's descended from divinity. He's fine.
Yeah, see, I poke him, and his like slightly reddish gold blood comes out.
Ow. I'm talking about Barovia. He said that negates the effects of Barovia towards divinity, which is born of divinity.
Anyway, these magical
Everyone
rings.
is useless.
The magical rings are 50 gold apiece.
Oh. Okay then. That's a bit out of my price range.
Apologies, but it costs quite a bit to make these.
How much is the defense ring?
50.
Okay. I'll take it.
Which one?
The fence ring.
If you have 50 gold?
I have 98 gold. I haven't bought anything.
What the?
That's fair. All right. He takes it and he's looking at the coins. He's like, "What the hell is this?" Like, there's the hourglass-shaped ones. There's the one from Ravnica.
At least its weight in gold.
He's like, that I can say, but some of these are lands I've never seen before. Like, he's looking at the Ravnica coin specifically. He's like,
It's still official. It's still made of those same metals.
If you think those ones are weird, look at these Strode coins.
Yeah, he has some of those in here too. Anyway, gold is gold. The ring is yours, and that gives you a +1 to your AC, just so you know.
Sweet.
It does require an attunement slot.
Okay, I'll put it
Well.
Can I
using one?
can I do anything else for you?
No, that's about it.
What else do you got here? You got any brass knuckles?
I'm sorry, what?
Got any?
I think you want a smith for that.
Yeah, I need to see a smith.
Son, your knuckles are made out of skin. As they should be. Skin and bone.
And honestly, your knuckles are harder than any brass that I've seen. Brass bends, and you tend to break things with those knuckles, so I think that'd just be a downside.
True.
How about knuckle dusters? Do you have any of those, or know someone who could make one of those?
He like looks around and picks up a feather duster.
Not that kind, no.
He
Kind of
picks
like this, but
Yeah.
only here.
I need to finally beat my enemies in the face with it.
That you might want a smith for, yeah. Your friend there is right.
Okay.
So things is gone.
Is anything else magical, or is it just the rings?
Just these rings. That's all I have at the moment. You see, I have to send for them all the way in Maliki to get them enchanted and sent back up here. It costs a lot of money in protection.
Fair enough.
Wait, but the Arcanum's right there.
Yeah, they won't do work like that for me because, you know, it's just a self-owned shop. It's not official guild business. I'm out of the... Well, not out of the guild per se, but I'm not an adventurer anymore like you seem to
And
be.
the man might show up, and so he has his own special stuff we can buy from him right now. I have my stuff you don't want.
I think if we're gonna get anything nifty, it's gonna be where we're meeting your father, or honestly in Waterdeep. You've heard of Waterdeep, right?
We just talked about that's where we need to go to get the portal to
Yeah,
move.
like not just its name though. Like you can hear a place exists and not know shit about it.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's like there's a difference between I've heard of Waterdeep and I've heard of Waterdeep.
And the heavenly plains which I live on.
Yeah, you're just weird.
That I was missing for months, right?
Yeah, like a year and a half. And I feel like I've only known you for like a week.
You're not wrong.
I seem to remember that I had a pet at my house.
Oh
dear.
Wait, are we talking about the snake that bit you and then ran away?
No, I think I got a different one. No, that was Pebble. I don't own Pebble. That's someone else's problem.
That was someone else, yeah. Tabaxi Druid had Pebble. Anyway, so yeah, you're gonna want a smith for something like that.
Well, thank you much.
You're welcome. Do come back anytime. It's good to see someone else from the guild every once in a while. They don't stop here very often anymore.
Why's that?
Well, they're all getting shipped up north. Some kind of big monster up there everyone's trying to take down.
How big?
Some say it's a dragon. Some say it's a feral giant. Some say it's, it's large. Literally large.
How many of him tall? And I point at Dovin.
I haven't seen it myself, but from the stories, at least 5, 6 of him.
Oh, I can fight
We
that.
should go fight this thing.
Dovin, it would kill you.
Well, I've died
Probably kill
before.
me too.
It would kill you just like every other thing has killed you.
Oh, fine. Never let me have any fun.
To be fair,
Had fun.
that's all the way over in Windcrest somewhere, which you would know, Stony, is the kingdom that is to the far north and west.
So, not the opposite direction, but definitely not the right direction.
And also a lot longer travel.
Exact opposite direction of where we're going. Well, thank you. And Stony just goes.
That's all I had.
Well, you have a lovely day, miss. And he takes your hand, Millie, before you can even react, and he kisses it, and he gives you a wink.
I thought he said no seduction.
I never said her.
Millie successfully hides her revulsion at being touched by somebody without permission.
He grins at you with his crooked yellow teeth.
All right, have a nice day.
You too, miss. Come back anytime.
They want it now. Boom.
We'll kind of walk out the door. We're leaving this city forever,
He
right?
starts driving.
Yeah, we're leaving forever, right?
We're leaving for at least a long
Dovin's
time.
gonna give him
Yeah,
all the info he knows about Millie, just for payback for Olga. Gonna
Oh.
give him Millie's
It's a
full
good thing
name.
Dovin doesn't pay attention to shit, so he like knows Millie. He knows Millie's name, that she stabs stuff, and she's short.
We
He's like-
tell him where we're gonna be.
Very
She'll be in
fast.
Barovia.
He's like, and her Twitter handle is...
Is Millie Kills 101?
Mikhail, you got to make that the actual Twitter now.
Apparently.
Top Rock 101.
I can hear all this happening, and I'm just outside the door, like, I'm gonna. It's all's fair. It's fair play.
Olga just pats you on the head and says, I remember a time when you did the same thing to him. Now look, we're,
You almost had a kid.
yeah,
You're married.
that we are. Maybe you'll be marrying him.
Have fun. No. I'll kill him first. Yeah. Actually, I'll do it right now if you really need me to prove a point, and I just kind of start drawing my rapier and walking back inside.
She's picking you up by the scruff.
That's the Ravnica Millie popping out a bit.
She has you in the air by the scruff, Millie. Just like, nope, we don't kill the merchants.
No stabbing. Okay, and I start like reaching around for like my crossbow.
Dovin, handle this.
Stony pulls the instrument.
Wait, Dovin's in there. Krevin, handle this.
Stony pulls the
I
instrument.
kind of want to see this chaos ensue.
He strums it once. Millie turns invisible.
She's still in my hand. I
I
can
slip out of my cloak.
She's literally just shaking the cloak around now, like, what did you do?
Oh, don't worry. She's just invisible.
The door opens.
She's like, but do you see? And you look around, and there are a ton of guard all over the city.
Yeah, if she's invisible, she's not going to get caught.
As in, 2 are turning into the store right now, right after that door.
Do you accept that challenge, Millie?
And then you literally hear, Miss, no invisibility spells within the city walls.
How the hell did I see her?
Millie's just gonna stay silent.
You see, they have something you haven't seen before. Some kind of red glass over the right eye. And then the other one goes, "Miss, we said no invisibility." And then he snaps his fingers and he dispels magic. And you're visible, Millie.
Does that fuck up my ring?
No?
No.
Okay.
It's a targeted spell.
It means he's a better caster than Stony, though.
That's only the case because I took a level in Bard to use this fucking thing.
Can you do that, Stony?
Soon!
It
Sir?
seems like you're a little too strong to be a guard for a little town like this. I'd look elsewhere for work, and I'd pat him on the shin and walk out.
This is a major metropolis.
Yeah, but it probably still doesn't pay you what you're worth.
It really doesn't.
I can't do that, and look at this. I hold my now heavy bag of gold. Look at that. I can't do any magic.
He shapes a similar bag of gold.
And I didn't have to work for it and leave.
That little cuss was quite rude, and then the other guy says, "Quite." And they begin looking around at jewelry in the store together for some reason.
I wish to steal the entirety of the store in one go.
So, Mr. DM, I would like to cast Levitate on one of them.
Oh dear.
On the instrument.
I just see Dovin just start floating as he's talking to the door.
I see Stony get that almost familiar challenged look in his eyes, and I'm fucking hiding. 27.
So, who are you trying to levitate, and do I have to roll anything?
One of the guards, and it's a Constitution saving throw because they are unwilling, unless they want to float.
I mean,
We
who
all
doesn't?
float down here.
That's an 18 on the die.
God damn it.
What's their Constitution modifier?
The guards
Three.
probably a +2 or so.
Okay, so Stony strums a little thing on this cittern, and one of the guards feels a little lighter for a second, and he's like, "What?"
He's looking around for the source of magic.
Millie has disappeared.
And he sees you, sees the guild emblem, and says, "Sir,
Yeah.
have a good day," and then shuts the shop door on you.
I think I was like behind the shop door too, so I just stand there like, huh, you might have fancy glasses, but you can't beat skill.
And then he grabs you and like shoves you out of the store too.
I got a 27.
Oh. But once he opens the door, you're clearly right there. It's not like you're just gone.
Yeah, but I thought the door opened like outwards.
It should.
Because
Otherwise, it's a fire hazard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Never mind.
Yeah, so
We
I'm
wouldn't
just,
see
I'm
you
just
pulling
like
a shot.
looking at Stony and then like, oh. And that's why skill beats magic.
Unless you're skilled at magic.
Unless you're skilled at magic. Yeah, there is a spell that would just like lock on to me.
And then you guys, again, you see these carts, you smell like fresh cooked bread on the air, you smell meats roasting, you see a guy slicing off cheese, and you realize it's been a really long time since any of you have ate anything.
Can we just stay here? Do we gotta go back to Brovia?
No, we got a job to do.
Yeah, so back to the teleporter, I suppose.
Back to where? The Arcanum?
Yeah, yeah.
I want to go find a blacksmith first, see if I can make my spikes.
We're going to a place that, Stony, if I'm right, they called the Center of Creation. You'll probably find better stuff there.
Okay.
Yeah. I figured this is probably cheaper, though. I think normal studded is like 15.
I don't want. I want 5-inch fucking spikes on the end of these. I need to kill my enemies.
Do you really need them, though?
Did you see what happened last time we were in combat?
Well, you died.
Exactly.
I also died.
Yeah, we all died.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a thing.
Tony's gonna go get lunch.
Anyway, let's get lunch. We all died. It sucks. Oh, look, hamburgers.
Yeah, they're literally a spot where they have ground up beef being grilled over hot coals.
Oh, you'll like this, Stony. This is a Neverwinter classic. They're called Never Burgers.
Go up to the chef and he's going to ask, okay, can you shape it in the shape of a hand?
He looks at you odd for a second, and then he takes out a knife and just the whole burger, bun and all, is cut into a perfect hand.
That is fantastic.
I
And then
just
he,
want
like,
a sandwich.
He's like eating the rest of the pieces.
You earned that.
So the food,
A goal.
so food including drinks, as in there's ale, wine, hot brew teas, water, and some kind of foreign juice that only Stony would be used to. Made from a special fruit that, if you're not careful when you're shaving it, it explodes.
Fun.
Yeah. All of it is 5 silver a piece. Very cheap.
How many of us are there?
4.
5.
Over at 5, 2.5.
Oh yes, 5 because of
Millie just covers it. She'll give him 3 gold. There you go.
He's gonna hand you back the 5 silver you're owed.
Stony's gonna give him 1 gold for
Oh.
humoring his request.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. You have a wonderful day.
Follow your silver.
You too. Keep up the good work.
And before you leave, he says, "Are you in town for the summer festival?"
Yeah.
No, we're leaving in like 15 minutes. Bye.
Oh, all right. Goodbye. And then he just moves on, selling more burgers to more people. So, fast forward to the other 45 minutes later. Other 40 minutes later, after you guys have eaten, you got back to the temple. Our temple, damn it, you fucked me up, Mikhail.
Arcanum.
The Arcanum.
Millie wasn't going to respect its actual name. You should know that.
Yeah. So you were taken into a boxy room where you're all ushered to stand inside. The wall closes on you. The floor begins to rise. You go up about 15 floors. The wall opens. You walk out, and there's someone out standing there. It's a how do I describe this? It's a tall, very pale man with long silvery hair. He's very ghost-like, very wispy. He looks at you and he says, "Are you one Stony Talk?"
Yes, I am.
Congratulations. You seem so excited about this.
It's been a while since I traveled via teleportation.
Yes. I as well. And then you see it. There's a glowing blue circle on the floor. All of you, please step inside. Keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times. It will disappear if it is not.
Hey, Dovin, look at that right outside the circle. I bet you want to touch it. I bet you want to.
Ma'am, please
Dovin
don't do
throws
that.
Millie outside of the circle.
Just a thud against the stone wall.
Ow. That's rude.
No, I thought you could get it.
Olga smacks Dovin upside the back of his head, as she did many times in Ravnica.
Ha!
We're like, ow, she started it.
Take
And
that.
then just looks at her, glaring at him, and he just, fine.
Millie, as
Sorry,
Millie, as you walk into the circle, she flicks you in the forehead and says, "Stop instigating."
Bite at her finger.
Trevin just fits inside the circle.
All right, everybody, let's chill. We're on the way to my parents. Let's not blow the place up.
Yes, chill. And then he says something in Elvish really quickly, and you guys all just, you're blinded by a bright white light.
Oh,
And
like
then-
your parents. Bloop.
And then you lose the smells of the freshly baked bread and the generally pleasant smells for sulfurous burning odors, all the smells and sounds of smelting and iron work. As you appear in the town square, it seems like it's kind of whatever that was. It's shaped like a pit. There's about 5 tiers, and you can see the rungs going out. And you are standing on the town square. Directly to all of your left, you see the biggest blacksmith's forge you've ever seen, with 12 people, at least a dozen people working all around it at the same time.
There you go, Krevin. Have fun. Go nuts.
I go over to them.
Did Krevin buy the ring?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up, Krevin?
I say, yeah, I'm going over to the blacksmith.
There's a bunch of them. Literally surrounded by them.
I go to the who looks like the best of the best.
So you go up to him, and he stops for a second, wipes his brow off. This is a, by the way, the blacksmiths here are mostly dwarvish, but there's also these really tall humanoid-looking people with veiny blue tattoos all over them. None of those people have hair anywhere on them that you can see. You don't know if it's burnt off. You also see those people are carrying a lot of the raw material to the forges and carrying heavy objects away. As well as...
pretty fairly far north, like it'd be like Washington if it was in America. Have any of those come that far south?
Any what?
Have any Goliath come that far south in Millie's lifetime?
I don't think so. I don't think any have ever made it to Neverwinter.
Huh, what the fuck are those?
There's also, you see lots of gnomes with like blueprints and stuff.
I need something to fuck up a vampire that I can wrap around my fist.
It says, then you want the shop over there. And he points over to somewhere else.
Okay, I go there.
So you go inside. And there are weapons of every kind in this shop. Anything your little heart can desire, you can find one of.
Dovin, I think I found your heaven.
There's even a mace that when you press a button on the handle, another mace pops out of the first mace.
That seems excessive, but okay.
I start fucking around with some nunchucks in the corner.
Never enough mace.
Millie, roll an acrobatics check real quick.
Oh, I'm good at this.
Please fumble.
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Oh.
21.
Yeah, you look like an expert with these. Like you were
I don't know what I'm doing.
And then, but the problem is once you get going, you don't know how to stop without hitting yourself. And
I just kind of look at the shopkeeper pleading.
This is Millie's life now.
Delvin's gonna come and kick Millie.
I just turn so if he tries to kick me, he'll go right into the web of nunchuck.
And that's what ultimately stops the nunchuck. Millie, roll a d10.
Oh fuck!
Did you hit Dovin in the balls?
Oh, dead center 5.
Yeah, you also hit Dovin dead center in the balls. And you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage from nunchucks.
Oh
Thanks.
no!
Fucking Millie.
Thanks, Dovin. And I put the nunchucks back.
So yes, you see the knuckles you're looking for, and it's made in several different metals. There's iron, steel, copper, gold, which are really expensive and ridiculous, silver, whatever you need.
I need it in silver.
He says, that'll cost you 30 gold.
What do they exactly do, like game wise? What do they increase? Or they do, because when I do a D6 with just my fist.
They do a D4 damage.
Wow, they suck.
Are they a monk weapon?
Only if he includes them in his monk weapon list.
Are they simple weapons?
Yeah,
they would technically be a martial weapon.
Really?
Martial,
Wow.
okay.
They just wrap around my fists.
Well, you're asking for ones with for puncturing, which is more like a Chris.
Yeah.
They're like punching daggers.
And then I do a D4, my fists do more damage.
I learned about those in Final Fantasy.
The guy behind the counter says, that sounds like a personal problem.
It is. So I kind of want someone to help fight vampires.
Well, vampires, you want like holy water and wooden stakes and silver. Those are silver.
Yeah, not all vampires are bad, all I'm saying.
Delvin, I'm going to say this just once. There are firearms on the wall behind him.
Sunlight also helps with vampires.
That's true, but we already have something for that,
Did
don't
you
we?
say firearms?
Firearms.
Like,
As in guns.
As in guns.
for some reason, I was thinking arms on fire.
I knew you would. That's so funny.
What?
By firearms, do you mean flaming armaments like a flamethrower?
Dovin's gonna go mess with those.
Firearms, ice arms, lightning arms, whatever you need.
Dovin likes things that can kill people, so he's gonna go take a look.
Underarms.
Delvin, you've never actually got to use a firearm before, and you ask him for one of them because they're all behind the counter, and he hands you like a flintlock pistol. He says, "Yep, the black powder goes in, and then you draw this back, and a little ball comes flying out and hits a guy way the hell over there."
Huh. Hey Millie, how fast can you move?
Jesus Christ!
I turn into a raven and fly 150 feet away.
Quiet.
Yep, she's still within range at that point. Not well, but you could still hit her.
I mean, I could still hit her.
Yeah.
I'm using a glove.
But this man here looks like he probably doesn't know too much magic. No offense. But,
No.
you know, this would substitute for it. Just 100 gold for one of these.
How about 5 gold and I shake your hand?
How about 5 gold to buy you a round of ammunition? You can kiss my ass.
I stealthily fly back
I
into
give
the
back the
room.
pistol.
Well, when you have the gold, sir, I'll give you a discount of just 85 gold. How's that sound?
How much would that be? Dovin tries to do math on his hand.
It is 85 gold.
8 platinum, 5 gold.
Yep, see? Listen to your small friend.
Oh, I'll just stick with hitting things in the face.
Ah, don't you already have that really cool sword?
I do.
He looks at you for a minute. It is a surprisingly a gnome behind the counter. He looks at you. He stands up on his stool and looks at you closer, Stony. He says, "Why, you look like a Tark. You look a lot like what's her name? The newest blueprinter. Emmy, that's her name. Emmy.
Emmy?
I think her
I'll
action.
be right back.
Did another of my... Did someone else have a kid that I wasn't aware of?
I think some of them call her Emerald. Stark Clan.
Is it Ruby?
No, we call her Emmy. I think her name is Emerald. I think her mother's name is Ruby.
Oh, okay, she's my niece then.
Oh, that's pleasant. It says she works right over next layer up, but right over there. She's blueprinter. I'm sure you knew that though. You Starks you Tarks seem to be really close together.
Yeah. Stony just backs the fuck out. Entire story.
Yeah, Millie's gonna go up and look at the pistol and set down 2 bottles of gray fluid. So that's from a different dimension. How about a trade?
He's gonna look at this gray fluid really closely. What is this gray fluid?
I don't
You
know.
don't know,
It's
you
called
didn't tell
gray
us.
fluid.
Dovin's gonna yell, "It's just some animal pee," I'm pretty sure. Just to make sure Millie doesn't get what she wants.
He opens it. Just out of character, real quick, Mikhail. Is this the stuff that came from Vox?
I never met Vox.
This is the
Well,
stuff
you
from Ravnica
didn't.
that she pulled from a random dude's pocket.
I recall you pulling something from a dude's pocket that said "From Vox with love."
Oh, I just have it written as gray fluid, not anything with like a note.
Oh,
It probably was that, though.
he opens it up. He dips a finger in. He tastes it. That's right, rancid. What's it do?
Not sure, but it's from an entirely different world.
If you have a pearl, I can figure that out for you.
Well, I have a pearl right here, but that'll cost you money.
I mean, I'll give it right back. Pinky swear.
You know what? I'll take the gamble. 30 gold in this fluid.
Deal.
Okay. I'll even include 5 packets of smoke powder and 5 rounds of ammunition.
But what about the gun?
Yes, the gun as well. So you give him. Where'd you get 30? Oh yeah, you have 30 gold. So he slides it to you.
I had almost 30 gold before we started today.
Congratulations, Millie. You are now the proud owner of a flintlock pistol.
This is safe.
And 5 rounds.
And 5 rounds.
Gonna shoot Strahd in the face.
I mean, are they silver bullets?
Iron bullets.
Doesn't matter. Gonna shoot Strahd in the face.
Wasn't the point.
And besides, now that she has them, she can just have you make more.
It's fair.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Actually, she could probably make more. At least the powder. She just needs the tools.
I got Tinker's tools.
She has. The powder would be like if she was doing it would be alchemy supplies.
I got alchemy supplies.
Oh, cool. Yeah, she can use those.
I am the alchemy supplies.
It just uses Stony. So I need you to convert it into this, but why? It'll make sense here in a second.
Cover your ears. Alright, so with that, anyone else want anything from this shop while you're here?
No, Delvin's too poor to buy anything.
Ditto. And I'm not proficient in anything because Bard doesn't give you weapon proficiencies.
That's very true.
I only bought the pistol because I figured it would use dexterity, and my dexterity's pretty good.
Alright, so as you leave the shop, you guys look around, you get a good whiff. And again, Stony, I don't think you need the image again, do you? You know, follow the main road. South, it goes south and slightly to the west. It's about a week's travel to your hometown. On foot.
I'd like to visit Emmy first.
Okay.
Who's Emmy?
It's the person he was talking about that was Stony's niece.
Oh, I no doubt. I was looking at the gun. Really, if there wasn't so much security around, I was just going to take it. But, you know, sometimes.
As a Goliath literally steps over you two, carrying a huge cauldron of iron.
Like ingots or molten?
Somewhere in between.
Lean over to Millie. I could take him.
She's actually like gripped onto his leg and is just using him like kind of like somebody would use like a car or a rickshaw or something to go a little bit further on our journey wherever we're going.
He's going the opposite direction, but
I just what do you call it? A salute.
just step. Millie's gone. Step. So Millie's gone.
Oh,
Well, it was nice knowing her.
So yeah, you can go find. I mean, pretty easily actually. You just ask around a couple times, and they say, "Oh yeah, the new girl, she's over there." And then you see another small gnome. She has brown hair for some reason. You haven't seen that in the family in a while.
I was about to ask if she dyed her hair green because of her name. Thanks for the confirmation.
Yeah. But when she turns around and when you see her, she does have starkly green eyes.
She's much prettier than you, Stony. What happened to you?
My sister's a lot prettier than I am.
She squints at you for a second. She shakes her head and goes back to talking to someone over a piece of paper.
Emmy!
She stops and looks at you. And she looks at the person she's talking to and she says, 1 minute. And then she walks over to you. She says, Uncle Onyx? No.
Stony.
Uncle Stony. I haven't seen you in like, I don't know,
Yeah, it's been a while.
9 years?
Do they always assume Onyx first because they like him better, or
They assume Onyx first because they see him more. I've kind of been off.
What on earth are you doing here?
I was on the way to visit your grandpa.
buying guns? And I wave my flintlock pistol.
She goes, jeez, and she like lowers the gun to the ground.
Well, I wasn't gonna shoot it. It's not even loaded.
As the hammer clicks accidentally, she just looks at you. Please be careful. Uncle Stony, it's great to see you, but I thought you said you were gonna never step foot in the city again. You said you were done with Gildern after your last fight with Grandpa.
Yeah, well, didn't feel like traveling 2 weeks to come through here anyway.
Hmm. You heard he's sick, yeah?
Yeah, from your cousin.
Which one?
How big is your
Well.
fucking family?
Large. Very large.
Really looks a little jealous.
I have many cousins.
Shale.
Shale? Oh! So you came from Goldbrook.
Yeah, we were just at the Arcanum. That's how we got here quick.
You know, Grandpa was not as angry as we all thought he'd be when Shale went off to the Arcanum. Suppose that has something to do with you?
Probably, considering I became a alchemist who could make it on his own on a deserted island, basically.
Fair.
Also, if you're ever down there, watch out for this weird dwarf. He'll definitely lick your arm.
Down where?
That's near the Arcanum. Just watch
Yeah.
out for a lecherous old dwarf if you're ever down there.
I don't go near Goldbrook.
You look like his type.
She looks at you. You look like his type.
I mean, you're not wrong.
That's the point.
I would love to talk more, Uncle Stony. But I have to finish my work here before Summer's Festival.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Go do your thing.
Okay.
By persons whose name I've forgotten.
It's Emmy.
Who?
Emmy.
Benny?
Emmy. Like the award.
And then she stops for a second and says, "Oh, Uncle Stony," and she looks at Billy. "It's good to see you finally found a girlfriend."
That is
And then
not
she turns,
what's going on.
turns around and walks away.
Huh. No, at least they don't think you're gay. And then I'll walk away.
So, what do you guys want to do now?
I guess stock up on supplies before we make the week-long trek.
It's simple enough to do. You can find a yeah. 1 second, guys.
Millie, if the dwarf ever tries to touch you again and you don't want him to, just stab him.
I might.
So yeah, you do find another smaller shop at
Or I can do the baby-headed raven thing, which is terrifying.
That is very horrifying, yes.
But yeah, there's a shop at the southern gate, which is the main road to Sarlazet. You can stock up on whatever you need to. A week's supplies basically costs like $1 a day for supplies. No, it's 5 silver a day for supplies. I think it is.
So
For
that's
food.
3 gold, 5 silver.
Yeah,
All right.
each I should establish. And when you're heading out, the woman behind the counter says, "Be careful out there. The Silver Fangs are running rampant right now on the road."
What is a silver fang?
Does Stony know what that means?
Stony, you would remember the earliest times of the Silver Fangs. It is basically a werewolf gang, kind of highway bandits that have not been fully dealt with by the guild or by the military yet.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
Yeah, I can't even cast lycanthropy. You know, again. And then I leave.
Stony kind of looks at Dovin and just strokes his chin. It might be beneficial for him.
Stony's got evil plans.
Delvin confused. Huh? What?
Secretly, Stony's the evil mastermind behind the whole game. He's the BBEG.
Stony's secretly
he's Strahd.
Damn you, Perkins.
No, he's not even Strahd. He's Strahd's brother brought back from the dead.
Oh god, that's an actual thing too.
Yeah, Sergey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's Sergey. Yeah. So, yeah, you guys head out on the
Stony's
on another whirlwind adventure. So I'm
Alrighty.
gonna make a couple rolls here, guys.
I'll stay in Raven mode for a lot of the journey to kind of keep an eye out.
Stony's just continuously playing Country Roads Take Me Home the whole time.
At the end of
Delvin contemplating on how he's going to kill Stony for singing Country Road the whole way.
at the end of each quatrain, because that's how that song's written, Millie will let off a caw.
So I do have to ask: were you guys planning on getting horses, a wagon, or were you just hoofing it all the way?
I think we're just hoofing it.
Okay, so that's a week's travel. So I have to make a bunch of rolls.
Neat.
Yeah.
You guys are, Millie's just flying around, and every once in a while it lands. You guys are slow. Back and flying. Ow.
Hey, DM.
Yes.
Answer's floating disc and just kept continuously casting it as a ritual. Do you think Millie would be able to pull it in Raven form?
I would be able to do it in hybrid, maybe.
I was gonna say in pure Raven form, she is not strong enough.
Yeah, I think pure Raven, my strength is like 8.
Wow, a Raven's as strong as Stony.
I mean, not 8, like 2. Sorry, I was thinking 10 minus 8.
In hybrid form, your strength just stays where it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is 11.
Hey, you're stronger than Stony. Congrats.
Well, she did live on the streets. Didn't get none of that fancy upbringing.
So
In fairness, Stony, it wasn't exactly fancy.
Everything's fancy comparatively. I think Dovin had a fancy upbringing comparatively.
Delvin's mom tried to eat him.
Not like he's an alcoholic.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
Hello? What happened?
And that's canon.
everybody else, shut up. We're getting into Dovin's backstory. As we sit down on the first night, the first 2 days are uneventful, except for on the end of the first day.
Dovin's mom comes out of the
Sitting around the campfire, Dovin begins talking about his backstory. Talking about his family life. Go!
Well, Papa loved Mama.
Did
9
they,
months later, I'm pretty sure it was Ray.
Jesus Christ.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's semi-typical, though.
Alright, so yeah, like I said, the first.
phone-
Why did your mother try to eat you?
Well, you know, being half bred, didn't
So
think.
Daddy got you.
I'm sorry, did you say half dragon?
No, half bread.
Oh,
You know, like a loaf of bread, he's half bread, he's half wheat.
he's not whole grain, he's half grain.
Half,
Yeah,
half
that makes-
dragon, half
That
orc.
makes sense.
Dragon orc.
Okay, so the first 2 days, like I said, the first 2 days were completely uneventful. The third day, it begins getting unreasonably rainy. The second day, or the fourth day, I should say, you come across trees that have been knocked into the road, but someone had already slid them off. On these trees, you do see animal-like markings.
Best to leave those alone.
The fifth
Keep me
day,
updated if anything weird shows up in like a bird's eye.
basically after that, the rest of the trip is pretty uneventful. Until you finally get to a small town right on the sea. You smell the salty ocean. You get there just as the sun is rising, so it's cast in a golden glow. There are buildings of all sorts of sizes. There's some huts that are kind of floating out on the water. There's buildings that are very, very small, clearly made for smaller races. There's normal-sized ones. There's all sorts of docks. You see one really big ship that is just docked on the harbor right now. Stony, you would know that that ship in particular takes the tourists to the city where the guild that you're a part of, as in like the main headquarters where you're based out of, it goes to that city because that's a tourist city. And then brings the other people back.
To rip people way off.
As you finally approach Sarlazet. And we're going to stop there for a few minutes, 2-3 minutes, to take a break, bathroom break, grab drinks, whatever you got to do.
Alrighty. We're all gonna die.
Probably gruesomely.
Well, Krevin was raised by his father for about 4 years before the angels took him.
Where did the bad angels touch you, Crevin?
Well, they beat me senseless first.
Well, that's not a good way to go about it. At least they should have been loving about it.
They were. They told me it was for my better good.
That
war
doesn't
would
make
be
it better.
It's still not. That doesn't make it okay to touch you, Crevin. You need to stop blaming yourself.
I don't blame myself, dude. They did it all of their own volition, but I know why they did. It doesn't make it any better, but I understand why.
Millie just shakes her head sadly.
And they also made me kill my father, but that was for another reason.
Was he doing evil skit?
No, it's something about separation of my life as a human.
Yeah, I really don't think you're from. Like, I don't think you follow a good god there. Like, just gonna lay that out there. I don't think you follow a good aligned deity.
Find good aligned deity.
Someone who is for the continued life and endurance of the species on this world.
Well,
A being that's capable of the remotest amount of compassion.
well, she made it to where I couldn't remember if my father was screaming or not.
Yeah, I think that's worse.
Didn't she also force you to go back into a place where you almost guaranteed to die if you continue to fight?
Yes.
Crevin, I really think you should think about maybe taking your life in a personal direction.
I would, but I'm scared she'll find me.
Well, of course she'll find you. Just tell her to fuck off, though. Like, there's a separation between, the material plane, I think.
And she may or may not be my mother. I don't know.
I mean, that's on you.
That's a very strange family dynamic. Well, lots of family this session.
Yeah, just tell Mommy to piss off.
Mommy may or may not be a deity, so that could end very badly for me.
You're an adult. You can make your own decisions.
Yeah, you're a grown-ass man.
Mommy says that Crevin has to listen.
My dad fucking hated what I was doing with his work, but I did it anyway.
Your dad's not God.
I never met my dad.
Maybe your dad was actually my dad, and I accidentally killed our father.
That would be weird.
You
How would that
motherfucker!
even work?
You motherfucker! No, I'm just kidding.
How would that even work? She's a gnome, and you're a
I'm not a gnome.
you. You're not a gnome. You're a halfling. And
Halflings
you're a
are
you.
human. I'm part human.
But halflings aren't part human.
You don't know
Unless he's a dire halfling.
that. New
They're
race.
like halflings, but dire.
They're just really big. Are your feet hairy?
And so Krevin has another existential crisis.
Even though in the end they're merely just like tire happenings aren't a thing. Silly Krevin.
I think they're just called humans.
Or my
Ew.
or fabricate this whole thing has been lying to me.
Humans
And
are gross.
guy.
Like, have you ever seen a human's feet, Stony? No hair.
Have you seen my feet?
Well, at least your toes are weird.
I've seen Krevin's feet. Those don't have any hair on them. Never puts on fucking shoes. It's weird.
Just stare at Krevin like I don't trust somebody who doesn't have hair on their feet.
Or
I've
at
had
least
a lot of
weird
my feet.
toes.
Or at least weird toes.
I have hair on the bottom of my feet.
That's just wrong. Please leave my site.
I feel exactly back when I was just hearing this unfold.
I'm willing to accept people of most races, but
as
none of
we
this hair on the bottom of
Delve
the
back into the game.
There's no hair on the bottom of feet. Just fucking around.
I lost all sound once
No,
again.
you didn't. I'm right here.
There we go.
Sup?
So, Stony, you very clearly know the way back to your parents' house. After all, you grew up there.
Yes.
Before we get there, Stony, will you be offended if I steal your parents' shit?
Depends on the shit.
Things that would help us.
Stay out of their bedroom and we'll be good.
What if there are things that would help us in there?
There's nothing in how it help us.
None
Trust
of the kinky stuff. I would avoid that. I'd build a
See,
televisor.
that isn't what I was talking about.
To be fair, Millie didn't grow up with parents, so she wouldn't know the rule of staying out of the parents' bedroom.
Yeah, no. I had a mother until I was like 5. And you know, when you're that young, you don't stay out of the parents' bedroom. You just kind of waltz in.
Daddy, what are you doing now?
We're just wrestling. Oh, that explains the chair. Chair? Boom!
Oh dear.
All right. So you guys follow Stony, and he comes up to a small hovel. It's kind of built like in a slope in the hill. Actually, I'll let you describe the house you grew up in, Connor.
So the house is relatively small, which surprises most of you considering the Tark clan apparently is known far and wide. And it's just got like, the yard is filled with different contraptions that water it, cut it automatically, and just do a whole bunch of things to make their lives easier.
It looks plenty big to me.
The one thing you will notice is, the one thing I am going to interject here is, neither Dovin, Olga, or Krevin can fit in this building. It is clearly made for the smaller
I
race.
guess I'll be on the grass. That was just gonna go sit down by something, by the wall.
Watch out for the lawnmower.
Is there like an outdoor fireplace we can start?
Probably, yeah.
Everyone will go do that. He'll get some wood, the fire pit outside.
Stony, as you approach the door, it is swung open by one of the few people that are always happy to see you in your family. The rest of you see a stoutly older gnome who has wisps of red and white hair with an ample bosom, scoop Stony straight off his feet and say, "Oh, my baby's back! My baby's back!" And she starts yelling into the house, "Greg, he came back! Greg!"
Hi, Mom.
Quickly afterwards, dozens of small children, a half dozen small children, gnomish children, come running out and shout, "Uncle Stony, we thought you were dead! and then one of them is like tugging on your pant leg as you're being picked up by your mom. And she looks over and says, "Is that your girlfriend? She's an ugly gnome."
First, no, and second, she's not a gnome.
What the fuck?
Millie, maybe not just kill your entire family now.
Dolphin points and laughs at Millie.
She drops you, Stony, and runs over to Millie, picks Millie up, and says, "Oh, I never thought my baby would find a girlfriend." And you are being smothered.
She wasn't.
You're being smothered in her ample bosom, Millie.
I use my escape the cloak defense mechanism.
Surprisingly, it doesn't seem to work on this lady.
No!
She has you in a firm vice.
I turn into a raven.
She grabs you in raven form and shakes you. Now you fix this problem. Stony, you know magic. Fix this problem.
Yeah, no, I can't fix that. Millie just transforms into that when she wants.
She says, "Now you come out of this form right now, or I will put you in a cage." Roll a wisdom saving throw real quick.
Oh my god, is Stony's mom a magic caster?
Oh crap! I lost sound. Hold on.
Maybe that's why your dad is like magic. This marriage was not consented.
By the way, Millie, this is your first experience with a mom voice, so you're gonna have to roll your wisdom saving throw at disadvantage.
Is Stony's mom a caster?
No.
That's a 9.
It's
This
just
is
the power of the mom voice.
this is motherly intimidation.
I baby head.
So she has a
What do you
21.
want?
By the way. She
Yeah,
says,
she gets baby head.
"No, all the way." She grabs your tongue. She has a hold of your tongue right now. You see how many grandchildren I have? You better correct this issue right now.
Millie,
She will kick your ass.
Millie, you never dealt with a mom before. Trust me, they're terrifying.
Millie, you have the vague sense this might actually be the most terrifying woman you've ever met.
You haven't
You
met
may-
my mother.
You don't want to show it, but you feel it deep down.
Briefly consider using the Behold Vampire option on the amulet.
Come now, let me get a good look at you.
Actually, you know what? It's only one charge, so she just like attempts to use it and it fails.
Stony's mom, scariest creature on this side of the dimension.
It's an intimidating gnomish lady.
No-ish.
So after a few minutes of that, Millie will begrudgingly switch back.
I just imagine his mom's like, "Oh, I hope she's gnomish."
She's like patting you all over. She's checking your head for nits and shit, and she's like patting you. She says, "She's awfully thin, no, Stony." And then she like looks into your eyes,
Why are you doing that?
and she says, when she's staring into your eyes, Millie, she has a sad look on her face for a second. And she says, "Oh dear, me and you need to have go have a little talk." And then she brushes dragging you in, Millie. She brushes
What are you
past.
doing?
Why are you this way?
She brushes past Stony and says, "Talk to your father." And then she goes off into the parents' bedroom.
Millie's just like
That's the
trying
one-
to scramble away and failing.
Door shuts.
Where is Stony's father in the house? Because probably not in the parents' bedroom if that's where she brought Millie.
Yeah. So you go in, and basically the living room is an inventor's paradise, essentially, is what I imagine. And you see your father sitting kind of awkwardly on his stool that all your growing up he's always had. And when you approach him, he slowly turns at you, and his eyes are milky and glassed over. It's just, your mother says it's Stony.
Yep. Hi, Dad.
He slowly gets off the stool, and he goes over to you like he can see you. He reaches out and he pats you. And what you expect here is what happened last time, and it's a firm backhand. But he pulls you in for an embrace. Not quite like your mother's, but it's shocking nonetheless. You've never, as we've established, you've never gotten along with your father. And he holds you out and he says, shaking with a shaky finger, he says, "You know, nothing puts something in perspective like thinking you've lost a child. All the petty squabbling. For what? Now, don't misinterpret my affection, son. I still firmly believe magic and mechanism should never be mixed. It's cause for danger. But I'll never disown you again."
Stony's just nervously rubbing the transmuter stone in the palm of his gauntlet. I'm glad that I was able to talk to you again on better terms.
Yes. And the day before the summer festivals at that.
I'm sure we could have a great time, but I came here to try and say something to you before I had to leave again.
Oh, what is it, son?
I am going to have to go back to Barovia soon. I'm needed there along with everyone that I brought.
He's like, everyone? You let me be emotional in front of guests?
The other two are waiting outside. Mom brought the other one to your room.
Was it a girl?
Yeah,
Oh,
not like that.
whatever you say, son. And he pats you on the back. And he pulls you in and whispers, "If she's in the room, I just gotta say, it's about time."
She's like 20 years younger than me, Dad.
Hey, when you're 40-something, it doesn't matter. As long as you're happy, son.
Dad, it's not like that. I'm old enough to be her dad.
Again, I'm trying to not be so judgmental in my current state. And you do notice that he is a lot thinner and a lot more frail looking than you ever remember him being.
Slate told me that you were sick.
Shale?
Shale. Let's just pretend I said Shale, okay?
Yeah. Shale's a good kid. Looks after his uncle, or looks up to his uncle Stony.
Is there any way you could get to a priest or something to get better?
They've all looked at me. It's some kind of curse that they've never seen before. Or not a curse, but more of an illness that they can't find a solution for. They've tried. You know, being one of the most famous inventors kind of has its perks, but when there's no solution, there's no solution. The math doesn't add up.
Stony just closes his hand that's in the gauntlet. Could I try something?
You can certainly try.
Stony's gonna reach out with his gauntleted hand and touch it to his dad's chest, and he's gonna try to use his transmuter's thing to I guess just try and put his dad in a healthier state.
As you do so, it
I'm
glows.
not sure if it's going to be able to. It's just an attempt.
Your transmuter stone glows, and everything feels warm in the room for a minute. But after a second, or after a couple minutes, your dad just gives you a weary smile and says, "It's okay, son." And he pats you on the side of the head. Says, As I said, if the math doesn't add up, there's no solution. I'm going to enjoy this summer's festival as best I can. It made me go blind, as you may be able to tell. But I'll enjoy this last summer's festival and see how far I make it after that.
I saw Emmy on the way here.
Emerald, good girl. Follows in
She's doing
Grimpep's steps. Yes, she took over my old job.
Maybe she'll be just as good as you someday.
She's already twice the inventor I ever was. That girl's got a bright future.
Shoulders of giants and all that.
Yes, indeed. So moving over to the bedroom for a minute.
Words you never want to hear.
God damn it, let me go, motherfuck.
She plops you down in a chair that's in the room. Says, "You stay right there." She flicks you in the forehead. "Don't hiss at me."
It worked on the street.
And then you see as she presses a switch on a bedside table, and you watch as the bottom of a pot there starts glowing. And then when it stops, she picks up a cup, puts a little baggie of something in it, and pours the hot water in there. Says, "Drink this. Drink it.
What?
Drink it."
Fine. Be that way.
It is a sweet tasting tea. It's very calming, in fact.
That's
She
not terrible.
She pulls up another chair. Yeah, it's actually quite enjoyable. In fact, Stony in the other room, you can smell this tea being brewed.
Probably heard me yelling too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. She pulls up another chair and she looks at you and she says, "Dear, something tells me you've seen some true horrors. Something bad happened, yeah?"
Something. You make it sound like it was one thing.
Many things then, yes?
A lifetime. Or two, technically now.
She says, "Why don't you tell Mama Crystal all about it?"
Well, I've got two sets of memories in my head, and one of them is really not a fan of the other.
I can keep up. Keep going.
Your son probably has something going on like that too, if you want to worry about someone.
No. He doesn't have the look in his eye like you do. You look like you've been truly traumatized.
He's just had
Oh,
an
he doesn't
entire
do it.
life in a world where he spent his entire time studying artifice mixed with magic.
Well, I've never been explicitly against it. It's okay.
Millie like sighs because that was her last trump card. What do you want? I'm not happy.
When's the last time you talked to your mother?
14 years ago when she was puking blood.
Plague then. She stands up and says, "You poor thing. Why don't we start at the beginning and get up to now?
That's a long story.
I have a lot of time." As she refills your cup that you didn't even realize you had already drained.
There's so much. Just start at the beginning.
Okay, and you just go through the whole both stories with her?
Yeah.
By the end of it, she's crying. And she stands up and she takes you and
Don't do that.
she holds you in the vice-like grip of a mother's warmth which you have not experienced in 14 years and says, "You poor thing. You just need a little love." And then she's slowly stroking your hair. And you have to fight the urge to fall asleep between the calming tea and her embrace and petting you, basically.
Don't need to
She's gonna lay you down on Stony's parents' bed and then slowly leave the room and close the door quietly. She walks out, and you and your father are probably just sitting there having a laugh, Stony. She says, Stony Tark!
Yes? What?
It's your turn to suffer, motherfucker.
You have been here for, and she looks at the clock on the wall, 4 hours.
Literally a minute.
Have you offered your friends outside a drink yet?
Stony
Or
looks
food?
outside, and they're probably busy with all of his nephews and nieces.
Yeah, they've been hassling both of them the whole time.
They look fine.
Trevin has been overtaken by children. Help.
Yeah, have you ever seen oh fuck, what's that show with all the tiny people and the big one big guy? Gulliver's Travels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're
Oh, I
Gulliver's
thought you
Travels.
were talking about Kindergarten Cop.
And these are intelligent, these are bred to be intelligent gnomes, too. I'm just
I can
saying.
just see me and Crevin in a corner with our weapons out, just kind of like back.
And they have
Why do you
nets.
have weapons?
They have nets and ready to go. Like strange contraptions they're throwing at you, little mechanical spiders crawling at you and stuff. Olga's just sitting back, and she has one little girl on her lap, and the little girl is just talking her ear off.
They look fine.
You got Dovin yelling, on the right, Crevin, on the right.
This has turned into a full-scale miniature war.
They seem like they're having fun.
There's
Yes, they
blood
like.
everywhere.
They do like to play Capture the Giants. And then she'll say, she's getting another pot of tea that's out in the kitchen area ready. She said, and she brings it over to you to give to them. She says, Stony, that one in there is near breaking. You and your friends need to help her. Make sure she doesn't tip over to anything dark or ominous.
Like being a were-raven? Like that kind of thing?
No, as in, she's close to a psychological meltdown.
Oh, Crevin's long past that.
I'll be sure to try and keep her as stable as I can.
Just be a good friend.
Yeah, that was my goal.
And then she gives you a wink.
That part is not a goal.
And she says, whatever you say, son, pats you on the head. Now take the tea out to your friends. Don't make me say it twice.
Stony grabs the tea and walks out quickly.
So, in the midst of this chaotic scene, Stony just walks out there. Tea?
Take this. My mom won't leave me alone if you don't take it.
Crevin,
Oh,
help. Sony, help. They stole my shoe.
One of them is literally hitting Crevin with the shoe.
Hey kiddos, want to see something cool?
They all stop dead and their heads snap to a turn.
Oh, dear.
Stony pulls the instrument of the bards to in front of him. Strums it once, in ascending order, and he starts to float up into the air. That was
They
him
just-
casting levitate.
They just... And all of a sudden, they're all surrounding, like, under your feet where you're going to land. And they're like, Uncle Stony, is that magic? Is that what magic looks like? Grandpa won't let us see magic yet.
Yeah, this is magic. It's coming from this thing. And no, you can't take it apart.
But I want to see how it works. If I take it apart, I know I can figure it out, the oldest one says.
I doubt I could figure it out.
No, I could. My mom says I'm the smartest of the Tarks. And all the other kids are like, nah.
Your mom says that to a lot of people.
Well, it's true with me. And then your dad walks out, you're a cocky little shit is what you are.
Sounds about right. And then Stony's going to dismiss it, and he's going to float slowly back down.
And then your mom walks out, and she says, hey, give the big man his shoe back. He's crying.
Yeah, he does that a lot. I think he got messed up by Barovia.
Well, take him some tea so he calms down, Stony.
I
Now,
gave him the tea.
I think this is far beyond tea, miss.
as you drink the tea, you slowly start to think, maybe not. This is good tea.
I have been corrected.
And the smelly one?
I gave him tea too.
Okay. Good boy.
Just keep those demons away from me.
Uh-oh. I lost sound again. Hold on.
He said to keep those demons away from him.
I'm back. I lost sound for a minute there. If Dovin said something, I missed it.
Dovin
Keep
said,
those demons away from me.
Oh, my sweet little... No, they are demons. They're absolute heathens. She says, all right, Stony, calm down.
I did come down.
Oh, sorry. Now, go prepare your room for you and all the boys.
Okay. Stony goes and does that.
She hands the three of you, the big people, all vials. Put this in your tea.
There's 3 big people?
Olga,
Oh, yeah,
Dovin.
because of Olga, yes. Never mind. I keep forgetting about her.
Yep. She pours these vials in each of your drinks, and as you sip them, you feel yourself slowly begin to shrink.
Dovin freaks. No, I will not be the size of Millie.
Although all your clothes stay the same size. So she quickly ushers you into the house and offers you clothing from inside the house. Dovin, you vaguely look like a goblin now.
Does
Dovin
Krevin
is
look more
very
halfling or
sad.
gnome?
And then the kids start coming up to you once their grandma walks away and say, now it's a fair game.
Does Krevin look more like a gnome or a halfling?
Bring it.
Krevin would look more like a halfling.
Cool.
Olga kind of looks like a gnome.
I look at the children. Yes, this is fair game now.
Ready his fists to uppercut several children.
as all six of them quickly overwhelm you once again.
God damn it. No, I enter my divine form.
You basically look like a pigeon. At this size, it is not intimidating. They laugh at you.
Thorn,
he's glowing
Dovin releases
now.
his bowels.
I have
What?
wings.
When they all stand up, Dovin, you are not Dovin. Krevin, you are bound and gagged, like hogtied, with tiny little mechanical spiders crawling all over you, shoring up all the knots.
Oh,
These children are the next adventuring party if we all die.
Yes.
Dovin slowly backs away. Kids.
And they're like,
I'm not
you're
calling-
next.
Dovin, for the
Dovin cries.
I'm calling you Noman.
Noman? What am I?
You're still Krevin. I can't make a pun out of you.
Halfling?
So, as
Havlin.
they're backing you into a corner, Dovin, another girl walks in, and this girl also has bright red hair, but looks more like Stony. Slightly younger, I do believe it is. I believe the sister's younger. Stony, you would know this to be Ruby, your sister. And
There's
she
Stony,
says,
Emerald, Crystal,
Shale.
Greg, Shale, Stony, Onyx.
Here's the theme.
Then there's Sapphire, who's one of the kids, probably the one that was smart mouthing me.
Computer.
Relax.
Granite.
As she opens the door, she says, children, stand down. And 4 of the children stand down. They stop dead. And slowly back up and sit on the floor. No, it's Ruby. Ruby
Dovin
said
kind
that.
of.
No, you said
I
4
wasn't
children
scared.
Stood down. There's
Yeah.
2 more that didn't.
Sapphire and Granite are still walking forward. And she says, don't make me tell your father. And they go, aww.
That's the A once the choke dies.
Relieved, Dovin goes sits on Krevin.
She points at Sapphire. Untie that one. These are guests. You're being very rude. And Sapphire will go and untie Krevin reluctantly.
Your mother is a saint.
Near saint. Thank you. Stony.
Hi, Ruby.
I was told you were dead.
Well, that was a lie. Probably wasn't intentional, but, you know.
Glad you're not dead. Onyx will be here in the morning.
Oh, well, that'll be nice.
Yeah, he has to get up.
Every branch of family then.
Well, we all come in for the Summer's Festival. I know you haven't been here in a while, but it's good you finally came.
Yeah.
And then your mom will lean over and say, with the girl, no less.
Mom.
Ruby will look over at Olga and be like, really? That one?
No.
Olga goes, no.
No. None of the people I came here with, I'm in a relationship with.
What about
I've been
Millie?
over this an absurd amount of time.
And then your sister, being a typical little sister, goes, is she a friend?
Yeah, she's my friend.
Is she a girl?
She is a girl, yes. We've saved each other's lives on multiple occasions.
Sounds pretty romantic to me.
It isn't, really?
I mean, the more you say no, the more I think yes.
Yeah, they hear, "Oh, you saved each other." We think back to the memories of all the blood, the grime, the suffering.
The spiders pumping poison into my veins while you're running away from Revenant.
Me, 3 health points, leaning on a rusty fence, shooting at a revenant, hoping it drops.
Hiding as a small raven in a house, trying to get away from fucking feral beasts.
Yeah,
Well,
just
I'm leaning out on the goddamn roof.
lots of good times. Honestly, if Millie wasn't a halfling, she'd probably have PTSD.
The only one that knows all of this inside your family is your mother, Stony. Also, we can vaguely hear Millie snoring from the next room.
Listen, it's not any romantic bullshit. I don't care that there are kids around. I've been over this at least 5 times.
Your dad says, we usually ignore the little bastards anyway.
Krevin's somehow been shanked. He doesn't know how.
And you hear Crystal, no bleeding on my floor, young man. Suck it back in. Suck it back in.
I attempt this.
You succeed at the fear of Stony's mother.
Ultra Instinct Stony's mom.
I didn't learn to play this.
She's still no match for Shaggy.
I didn't
Right.
learn to play this for her. I learned to play it because it gives me extra magic.
At that, Ruby hadn't even noticed the instrument. She says, oh, and he plays an instrument now, Mom, too. Mom says, awfully convenient.
Your mom, yeah, you don't. Your mom doesn't need magic. She has Ultra Instinct, so she's good to go.
I'm having fun.
This after I beat someone that was making a person-eating fog.
Mm-hmm. Was it when you were saving this girl?
No, this was before that.
Oh. Uh-huh. So
After I got this, a portal opened up that sent me to another dimension.
And then Ruby
And
says,
that's where I met this person.
so Sapphire of all of them says, so she likes you now because you're a hotshot musician now? Is that what it is? She's a gold digger, Mom.
She doesn't even like Dovin. She's been around him the most.
Ruby's shaking her head with a huge grin, says, wait until Onyx hears about this tomorrow.
Out of character, considering how Dovin treats Millie, She 100% likes Stony better.
What about Krevin?
Yeah, that's fine with me because she'll be awake to confirm what I'm telling you tomorrow.
Krevin's pretty chill. She's actually got a bit of a goal of trying to turn you away from your god because your god sounds like they suck.
Don't say that. Mommy was here.
So,
Did
yeah,
Millie tell Stony's mom about that offer?
no.
To teach her how to read.
Wait, about repeat that?
Did Millie tell Stony's mom about Stony's offer to teach her how to read?
Millie, did you? You said you told the whole story.
I probably glossed over smaller details because of how long it was.
I mean, you were there for 4 hours. We established this.
Yeah, probably then.
She says, you know, Ruby, Stony's also teaching that poor girl to read.
Because I like sharing knowledge. I teach him how to read. I pointed to
Sapphire says, ooh, you love her.
They're being pretty noisy. I got a passive perception of 18, so I just kind of come out with messy hair.
Messy hair, big yawn. Best sleep you've ever had in your life. This very fluffy bed. It's definitely it's definitely a rich person's bed. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Millie, please tell them that we are not a thing.
You're like 3 times my age. That's scary.
Exactly. Thank you.
One of the kids says, her face is red.
That's because I was lying on it.
Suddenly you're in love.
So, Millie, a woman that you didn't see before, leans over to Stony's mom, who you had this long, endearing conversation with. Says, is that the one, Mom? Mom says, yes.
Millie's not paying attention to that. She's squaring down with the kids and has pulled out some rope. She's a street urchin. They think they're hellions. If there's one other person in this house that can wrangle these children. Just...
If there's one person who can wrangle all of the children, it's Stony's mom. If there's one other person, it's Millie. If there's one other person who can wrangle one of the children, it's Stony, because whole person.
The most useful of spells in the Stony household. Right after mass suggestion.
Right? Too bad it's a house full of non-magical people, except for Shale. But as the day goes on, Mom tells you guys all about Stony, younger Stony,
and all the fuck-ups.
All the fuck-ups, all the embarrassing stories that a typical parent would tell.
How is it that you've become less competent?
Well, I can fix the things now.
His dad says from behind him, because he mixes magic with gadgets.
And
Much more
I don't think that's it. I think that's the cool part.
You hear Ruby, Dad, you're dying. Be nice to Stony.
Dad, you're dying. Just be nice already. God.
Towards the end of the day, as the sun's starting to set, you hear a wagon outside, and then it leaves, and in walks Emerald and Shale at the same time. Apparently they rode here together. They're like, oh, didn't expect Uncle Stony to actually stop by. And then Shale will run up to you and start talking to you about complex ideas for new spells that even you haven't heard of yet, but it's apparently common curriculum at the Arcanum.
Millie is standing in a wagon, and she has 2 of the children pulling it like huskies.
Just
by the way, I only set up one extra thing in my room, and then I set up like a thing in the guest room for Dovin and Olga to share.
Okay.
They're kind of married.
Would you say these children are indestructible?
No,
Basically.
they're gnomes.
Because if so, I need to train.
You just need to have proficiency in dealing with children.
I don't think that's. Yeah.
Literally, look around the house. I'm sure there are mannequins that fight back.
Let's do that.
There are definitely mannequins in this house that fight back.
Let's go.
Either that, or you have to think like a child. Those are your options.
So yeah,
So Krevis is throwing down with a stone defender or something.
Just busting his knuckles.
I trained on iron trees for years. I feel no pain in my fist.
no, but you feel it in your
Maybe that's why
jaws.
you go down so often.
You feel it in your jaws. One of the arms swing over and hit you square in the jaw.
You take
You fight
98
dirty.
damage.
I like it.
It's
Bring
one of
it
those
on.
ones. It's one of those ones that every time you hit it, the other side swings to hit you. Somehow masterfully exploiting all your open spots as on each attack. Only a master engineer could have crafted something this fine.
I continue on.
It kicks your ass.
I get back up and continue on.
You get knocked down, but you get up again. Never keep
Get
me down.
down, get down, I get knocked down.
All the children sing.
Another one bites the dust.
Little did he know, Stony was using his unseen servant to whack him with all the things.
Right, it's really what it was. It's really just a mannequin.
That's why it doesn't do any damage.
So yeah, there are actually two. There's also an extra guest room now that wasn't there before. It was dug out in one of the sides. It says your mom says that's where the girl will sleep, and she shows you your room, Millie, and it is more than you've ever had in your life, to say the least. It's a very fancy bed. It's got a whole vanity set up. It's a pretty swanky guest room. She says, and it's all yours for the night.
Never had one of those before.
She says, "There's clothes in the drawers. Feel free to take anything you need. There's a hand mirror if you need that too." And she just starts listing off a bunch of stuff most women would have already.
I don't have any of that.
She takes you by the hand, leads you in the room, says you have all of it now, and she starts just handing you shit.
I'm just looking at like what stuff can I crush to make powdered glass? What stuff can I use to make weapons?
She goes, "No, no, dear," and then she's like trying to smooth down your hair that's still a fucking mess. She says, "You need a bath."
I need to add more to my tool belt. Can't fight vampires without a tool belt.
Well, you know what? And then she walks out of the room and brings back in one, and she has a belt with a bunch of little gizmos on them.
Ooh.
She says, "These might do some neat tricks."
Mine.
Well, you can have it. She even like sizes you up for it and changes the size for you.
I think the doctor's
She said, hands you a couple extra sets of clothes, and she says, "This bed," and throws you onto the bed. You sink, you sink into it.
That's not shit. That's not shit? No.
Again, it's a rich person's bed. This is a
Safety word. Safety word.
it's a long shot from your most comfortable nights of sleeping in garbage.
Hey, Zach.
Garbage.
Yes,
Would my family have teased me about the leather I was wearing too?
I don't think they would have actually mentioned it.
Okay.
They're too focused on the girl you brought home.
Stony, this is for you. Read this.
Okay.
But she says, "You're a very welcome guest here, Miss Millie Sweetberry. But if I hear my son creep into this room tonight, I will whoop both of you."
100%.
and then she leaves the room. She's already-
Jesus. I start carving. What do you call it?
Dicks?
I don't know how to design it. Give me a minute.
Are you carving symbols of ravens?
Well, I was gonna do a like an M and S with like an X through it. Like M plus S, just no. Like Yeah, M plus S, but with a circle cross through it, like like the cigarette symbols, like no smoking.
People are just gonna think we had a fight.
So where do you carve that?
Bottom of the bed. They're gonna have to look for it.
Like underneath the bed?
Hmm.
Okay. So I'm assuming you leave the room for a little while because you're not quite tired yet. You come back later as Sapphire's walking out of that room.
Oh God.
Start like reaching towards her dagger. Did you take any of my things?
She goes, "Nope, you can frisk me. I didn't take anything of yours."
Sorry.
I am
People used
super
to
ready for her
people used to take my money when I stored it places on the street. So I'm.
She says, "That sucks," and twirls out a knife that she already had and says, "You should have stabbed him."
I eventually started doing that, but
Good on you. If someone tried to take my stuff, I'd stab him.
Sapphire is a rogue in training.
that's good. How good are you at stabbing things?
She pokes you in the leg.
Not bad. Uncanny dodge.
And she says, "I'm
He
pretty
starts
good."
breaking out fucking backflips and leaping off of the walls and lands behind her.
Just excessive amount of dodging for the little amount of poking.
Not bad.
Millie, roll an intelligence check.
Well, I gotta re-roll that.
This child also a caster? Like
12.
12. You have a vague recollection that might be a wood carving knife.
oh no.
What have you done?
Oh
She says-
no.
She says, "You'll never know," and then walks out.
I
That's
just start
never a good
reaching
sign.
for the alchemist fire.
It's
Go
there.
Go look under the bed.
The bed is littered in Millie Hart Stony.
God damn it.
Well,
I wouldn't have thought of it unless you said that.
that's unfortunate.
Well, they ship it.
The kids do anyway.
Good thing neither of us know how to pilot
Jesus.
water vehicles.
One question: since I'm technically born a divinity, can I officiate the wedding?
Do you know the ceremony spell?
I will become a paladin just to learn the ceremony spell, and that's my new goal now.
Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Just gonna look at it, immediately turn around, walk into like the room with one of the parents. Sapphire fucked up my bed, and then I'll leave.
Ruby sits up and she says, "Sapphire did what?" She'll rush over your room. "Your bed looks fine."
Is it fixed?
Like underneath it.
Yeah.
As she's looking over, "Yeah, it looks fine."
So underneath it's fine, or is she just looking at the top of it?
Sapphire joked me, and you should punish her for that. And then I walk away.
So Sapphire walks over to you smiling. She stabs the wall and puts a finger over it, and that familiar warm glow appears above it, and then it's gone.
Oh, this little piece of crap.
I just kind of nod and start juggling a couple daggers in one of my hands, like, yeah, okay.
And then she grins and walks away.
Trail's been giving her lessons in transmutation, but she's taken to it a lot better than he has.
Just have to make Millie. As long as Millie is shown herself as dominant rogue, she is okay.
Before she leaves, she'll say, "I told Uncle Stony I'm the smartest one in the Tart clan." And then she walks away.
She's wrong!
Do you have a 20 yet? Because I think Stony is close.
I had to use the stat boost to be able to multi-class into Bard. Shh.
She's like, "I have like a 42.
No, that's not how these things work. I pat her on the head and walk away. You need to worship the Perkins for longer to understand, I suppose. He's
Say
almost
that.
as important as Brando Boris.
So,
But none can match the importance of one Gareth of the Gygax.
right. So, as the night wears on, everyone eventually finds their beds and goes to sleep. The children all have to sleep on the floor, their mother on the couch next to them. Now, Stony, you would also know that Shale is the only one that's not Ruby's daughter, or son. That one is
Onyx.
Onyx's. Yep, that's Onyx's son. His only son. Stony, for the first time in a very long time, actually, it wouldn't seem that long because Barovia was really only like 3 weeks for you, wasn't it?
About that, yeah.
Excluding your whole lifetime in Ravnica, for the first time since you left for Barovia, you're falling asleep to the sounds of the ocean lapping the shore. A sound you never realized how much you really missed. You can hear the cicadas off in the distance in the field behind the sound. All the familiar sounds you knew growing up. As you drift off to sleep. And best yet, tomorrow is the first day of the Summer's Festival, which even as a child you enjoyed. As you look out your window, you see 3 bright stars passing over, as in shooting stars slowly moving across the sky. And that's where we'll stop. So,
Kill everyone in their sleep.
way to ruin it, Millie. No. So this has been session 25 into Ingstead of Curse on Dice. From here, it's going to be very sandboxy. Whatever you guys want to do is what we'll do. I'm pretty excited about it.
Stony cold reception.
This is my homemade, basically my homebrew world that was in my very first campaign that I ever ran. It's very fun for me to be able to put this on the stream. But other than that, please, please, please check out, like, and subscribe videos on Connor's channel, Versatile Diecaster. There's already a link in the description below because I went through and actually took care of all that today.
If you
Yeah,
can.
live plays going up on the 24th and the 11th. Playtesting some shit.
And we need fan art of Ultra Instinct Stony's mom, so please do this.
You guys see Stony, you know what he looks like.
And you know where a good place to find someone that could do that is? The absolute top
official Facebook group.
That's the one.
That was such bad syncing.
That was bad thinking. But that link is also in the description below already because again, I'm finally on top of my game. So until then, guys, I hope you enjoyed this lighthearted, more fun, except for Stony's dad's dying episode of Curse on Dice.
It's fine.
Until next week, goodbye.
It's fine.